Okay, next I'll draw a portrait using grid method. Grid method is used basically to preserve the ratio, preserve the same shape and ratio. If you are doing this, if you're replicating the same size, you keep the grid size same, or basically see the process is you draw two grids, that means squares, on the reference photo as well as on the drawing surface. So suppose here I see the measurement, I take the measurement using a scale. The measurement here on top comes to 8 centimeter and on the height it comes to 12 centimeter. So if I want to preserve the same ratio, same size, I have to draw a grid of same size of 8 centimeter by 12 centimeter and thereafter draw it. But now I want to say multiply it, or rather increase the size by size twice. That means magnify the size double. So I'll multiply the size into 2, so it becomes 16 centimeters on my breadth, and since it is 8 by 12, so it becomes 16 by 24 centimeter on my drawing surface. Okay, so I draw 16, mark every 2 centimeter here, and by 24 and mark every 2 centimeter again, and thereafter on all four sides mark them and join them. Join the lines which are every 2 centimeter apart. This grid should be as light as possible. I am drawing it dark so that it appears on the video, because you have to remove it, you have to erase it later on. So it should be as light as possible. Okay, now our grid is ready, both on the reference photograph as well as on the drawing surface. Now on the reference photograph we have grids every 1 centimeter, and on the drawing surface we have grids every 2 centimeters. That means it will be double the size. What I draw will be double the size of the reference photograph. So how do we start? Is we can start from any corner. Now we see where in the grid the lines, contour lines cut. Say suppose here the end of the head cuts here between 6 and 7 on the top, and on the side it comes between 1 and 2. So it is between 1 and 2 here and 6 and 7 here. So it goes like this and it comes to this corner. Then so you have to keep drawing it as it appears, the contour line, and it should come as accurately as it is, because you are just amplifying the now at times you can see the limiting place where it turns and thereafter join. Okay, so you have to mark them for reference. because otherwise you will not know where it is cutting. Now the nose, see here, the limiting, it crosses here. This is the place of the eye. Eye comes on the line of the 6. The eyebrow is on the line of the 4. The shadow of the nose now let me draw the eye. Eye comes almost at the center of this square. So if you want more details, you can have another division at the here, and for better details you can, so that you get the shape even further accurate. Now let me draw the mouth. Mouth is in the line of the 8. Okay, so this is roughly the contour. Now thereafter we can draw the shading. Now before shading we have to remove all the reference lines. So all the grid what we had drawn we have to remove. So that is exactly why I told it should be as light as possible. Okay, now we have removed all the grid lines, almost. I couldn't remove all because initially itself it was too dark. Okay, next part is we have to observe the highlights and shadows. We can see the highlights are here. These are the bright areas. That means the light is coming from this side, and these are the bright areas. So you have to leave these bright areas white only. The beard is white, this part is white, and we have to shade the darker ones. Now this part is very dark. If you can see, this part is very dark, whereas comparatively this part is not all that dark. Okay, so I start off with the darkest part first. It is to block the dark areas. The background is absolutely dark, so I'll just put all around a dark, encircling the figure. I'm encircling the figure with a dark coating. It need not be very regular. Very regular becomes very boring. Absolutely flat shading becomes very boring. So it can be slightly as it appears, slightly zigzag, some amount of hatching and cross hatching, that gives a very good effect. So you can see A charcoal pencil immediately gives the darkest shade you want in a very quick possible time. So it is worth buying a charcoal pencil. Okay, now what are the dark areas within the figure? Let's segregate those. So here we have a very dark line all across. Then we have a very dark eyebrow line, and of course the turban is very dark here. This is even dark. This part is even darker than the background. So you cannot make initially itself the background too dark. So you have to leave scope for these. Okay. Now you have to show the beard. I'm not going too much into detail. I'm just showing the procedure because it will take time, and also if you want to do the intricacies, it is a time-taking job, but of course very satisfying. Now here I'm doing some fine jobs, so you can hold it like a pen. I'm still using the charcoal pencil, and maybe after some time I'll shift to graphite for some more variety in shading. Okay, now I have almost blocked most of the darkest parts. Now I'll take up a 8B pencil, which is also dark enough, but not as dark as the charcoal ones. See, another mistake I did was these grid lines, because they were very strong, they are making impressions here. If it is, I don't know whether it is visible or not, I'll just lift it up. You can see here, in these places, there are white grid lines you can see. So this can be avoided by drawing the grid lines initially much lighter and with not much of pressure, so that it doesn't make any impression on the paper. Otherwise, the whole beauty gets lost if the grid lines are showing. The grid lines should not show after once it is finished. In fact, this is one of the techniques where you can employ for drawing some trees and all. I'll just show you. See, if you draw the tree, and now you need not draw with pencil, you can draw with any other sharp thing, and thereafter now if you do the shading, not apparent here, you will get a very good white impression underneath. If it is not visible, let me show you here. See the impression of the leaf. Okay, so coming back to the portrait, this is almost halfway done. because a lot of finer details will be required to be done. Those can be added, all the details of the beard and all those things can be done. So I'm not showing all those, which you can keep adding. Once you've got the right shape, now thereafter you can build on it. So this is the basic procedure of uh, magnifying an object using grid. Okay.